Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to you all on this webinar, or rather, we can say a masterclass of living an abundant lifestyle. So, how many of you want to live a life which is truly abundant in nature, and how many of you do not want to live a life which is truly abundant in nature? Thank you. You are at the right place, and I would like to warmly welcome each one of you for being there on this Friday evening for this webinar. And so, namaste, namaskaram, salam, hello, vanakkam, namaskaram. My deepest gratitude to each one of you who is present there right now, looking at this on this Friday evening, because your presence on this Friday evening shows that you are committed towards achieving an abundant lifestyle for yourself. And you are ready to do whatever it takes. And that attitude is something which is very important to take your life to the next level and to attract more and more abundance in your life. So, my warm welcome to each one of you who is present out there right now, and my deepest gratitude to each one of you to taking out this time, especially the Friday evening time where usually you could have been doing n number of other things. You could have been sharing this quality time of starting of a weekend with your family. You might be going out for a dinner. You might have been going out for some party, but you took that decision to come for this masterclass, and that shows your commitment. And I would like to deeply appreciate and honor your commitment and your presence here. So, congratulations, biggest congratulations to each one of you who is present here. The first, before going forward, I would like to let you all know that the first step which you have to normally take in your life towards success is the hardest step. And today, you have taken that step to come here and attend this masterclass, and that was the hardest step which you have taken, and you have overcome 80% of your hindrances of your life. So a big congratulations to each one of you, and I would love to give you all a pat on your back, but since it is on virtual mode, I can't do that. So I would request each one of you to give a big pat on your back like this and congratulate you for taking that first hardest step of taking your life towards the next level. So I'd like to ask you all something. Why are you here? What made you come here? What are your expectations? Whatever is there, please write in the comment box, and I'll be glad to read them, and we'll carry it forward. So, how many of you want to live a life which is truly rich and prosperous in nature? I'm sure everybody who is present out there and who is not present here, everybody wants to live a life which is truly rich and prosperous in nature. But everybody doesn't act it. It actually requires a commitment, it actually requires efforts to take that first step and the subsequent steps to get a rich and prosperous life. So, a very warm welcome to you all. And before that, I would like to pose some questions. I would like to throw some questions to the crowd here. So, why is it so that one man achieves greater success in his or her life, irrespective of how many problems or hindrances comes, whereas on the other side there is a person who always attracts failures in his life? Why does that happen? एक बंदा बार बार एक के बाद एक सक्सेस अचीव करते जाता है, और दूसरी साइड एक और आदमी है या औरत है, मेल और फीमेल, इट डजंट मैटर, but she or he will constantly attract failures in his or her life. Why does that happen? We'll try to find out the answer to that in this masterclass. Let me ask you a second question. Why does that happen that a person who is very good in academics scores really well in his examination, in his school days, in his college days, and he makes a tremendous score mark sheet. His mark sheet is very well, but he fails in his practical life. Why does that happen? Whereas there's other person who is backbencher, never was serious about his or her studies, but still he was able to achieve marvelous and phenomenal successes in his practical life, in his business life, or in his corporate life. Why does that happen? We'll try to find out an answer to that. Why does that happen that one person is always broke? Broke doesn't mean that he is not earning money. He might be earning a good, decent amount of money, but still, at the end of month, whatever he has earned during the month or at the starting of the month, it all gets vanished. Why does that happen? And on the other side, there's another type of person who is constantly attracting more and more wealth in his life. We'll try to find out the answer to that. Now, I'm saying that in each of these questions, the persons are are in equal position. Their physical position, their mental attitude, their health, their age, their work profile, their job profile, their education profile, everything is same. But still, one person always fails, always attract brokenness in his life, and as the other person is always attract more and more wealth in his life. Why does that happen? We'll try to find out an answer to that. Why is that happen that one person is always healthy? You must have seen people fit and fine, lean body, very radiant, very attractive face, proper body, and there's another side, same age, same upbringing, everything same diet, same exercise routine, same yoga routine, but still the other person always falls sick. Why does that happen? We'll try to find out the answer to that. We have seen many times that in a sales corporate office, or there is a group of salespeople, say 50 people, there is a bunch of 10%, say 5 out of those 50, who will always attract more and more success. They will always be superstar of their life. They will achieve the targets which were given to them. They will attract more and more clients in their profile. And on the other side, there's a remaining 95%, or rather, there's a remaining 90%, 45 people who will always struggle to achieve the targets. Now, again, I'm talking about similar people with same background, same work experience, same qualification, same designation, but it happens that only 5% of the workforce of salespeople always achieve and exceed the target, whereas the remaining 95% always struggle in their life. Why does that happen? We'll try to find out an answer to that. Now we will come to the next question, that why is it that one person is always sad, whatever happens in his life, whatever he is doing. He might be living in a 5 BHK bungalow, he might be driving Mercedes Benz or BMW or Audi, and he's having a chauffeur who is commuting, who is taking care of his commute, but still he's always sad, he's not happy. Whereas on the other side, a person living in a one room kitchen or in a hut area, or not even having a cycle to ride, but still they are happy, they are enjoying their life. Why does that happen? We have seen on the roads, right? Especially the children's in huts and villages or in the hut side area, we have seen the children's are always happy, enjoying, running here and there. They will just get a tire and a stick and they will continue to run and they will just enjoy their life. It doesn't matter whether they are having a luxurious life or not. They will be happy. So why does that happen? What's the difference between these two people? We try to find out an answer to that. Why does that happen that one person is always lucky? That's what we usually tell this person, that this is very lucky. He is very lucky. Wherever he goes, whatever he do, he will attract more and more wealth. Whereas on the other side, we usually speak out our own self that I am not that lucky. I cannot accumulate wealth. I cannot earn a business. I cannot own a business. I cannot run a business. I'm very unlucky. Why does that happen? What's the difference between these two people? Why does that happen? That some people get healed from the most biggest incurable disease also, including cancer. Whereas on the other side, there's a group of people who will always fall sick with some or the other small illness. He might have headache, he might have backache, he might have cold, tomorrow he will have cough, tomorrow he will have neck pain, the day after he will have body pain, someday there will be pain in his leg. Some or the other disease or illness will always cripple that person. How does this happen? Why does this happen in any person's life? We'll try to find out an answer to that. And one more question is that why is there such a big difference in the wealth ownership of people? Like 96% of the wealth is actually owned by only top 1% of the people, and the remaining 99% of the people actually share only the 4% of the total wealth. What's the difference between these two people? Why does that happen on this planet? We'll try to find out an answer to that. And last and the most important question is what makes successful people more successful than others? Any answers? Please write in the comment box. What makes successful people successful on this planet? I would be glad to read those answers, and please type it down in the chat box. Now, I will share the answer that according to me is the correct answer. This is what I have learned through my trainings and my coaching and my interaction with hundreds of people on this in the Mumbai area, in and around my locality. The answer is that very, very, very few people have actually understood the power of the subconscious mind and the principles of success. It is very few. Numerous people, not even 1% of people on this planet, have actually understood the power of the subconscious mind and the principles of success, which can actually help them achieve the success in their life. So before going any further, I would like to give a brief background about myself. Do I have a permission to give a brief background about myself? Please write in the comment box permitted, and I would share with you about myself. My name is Aditya Doshi. Just for sake of people who don't know me, my name is Aditya Doshi. I am a management graduate from Mumbai University. I am carrying almost 15 years of corporate work experience. I enjoyed all the successes in my life. I got a decent job after my graduation. I got a good pay scale. I always got a good hike. My annual appraisals were phenomenal in my organization. But even after getting all these successes in my life, I never was actually satisfied from within. We know, right? There's a there are two types of satisfaction. One is the satisfaction of what you have achieved in your outer world, and second is the happiness or the joyness which comes from within. So I never experienced that type of joyness in my life. There were some specific reasons about that. I tried to do my MBA after my graduation, but I went I reached the interview calls, but still I couldn't convert any of the calls. I wanted to do CFA after that, but unfortunately I couldn't clear the level 2, and I left it at then. So I was trying to investigate about myself, that what is going wrong with me? Where am I lagging behind? And I started to learn about myself. And there is a saying which is there, which says that as a student is ready to learn, the teacher will appear. And that's what happened in my life. I came across one of these types of seminars which you are attending right now, and I went into that seminar. It was a certification. It was a 2-hour seminar by Sunil Parekh on mind power, how you can actually tap the power which is lying within you, and how you can actually carve your own destiny by changing the wiring of your subconscious mind. So I got this wonderful gentleman named Sunil Parekh. I learned from him. I enrolled for different workshops of him. Then I even went for the certification of Jack Canfield. I got certified I became a certified subconscious mind trainer, and I went to different coaching, and my life went upside down. I achieved phenomenal results in my life just by changing or rewiring my brain, and to all these courses which I did. So I manifested different things in my life, and just I would like to share with you some of the manifestations which I learned, which I got. One big manifestation was that I manifested 1 million rupees. That's 10 lakh rupees especially even in the lockdown in the month of July, August, September, when the coronavirus was at peak, industries were going shut down, corporates were laying off people. At that point of time, I manifested 1 million rupees from my organization, from my employer. Second thing, which was big thing, which I manifested, was the admission of my kid in the desired school. Even though I was late in applying for that school, the admissions of the school were closed. I got the admission done for my kid by using the power of my manifestation, the powers of which the tools and techniques which I learned during these workshops. And third is a personal experience which I will share with you only if you in my final workshop, which I will be going, which I'll be sharing with you all at the end of this program. By the way, to be clear at this point of time itself, at the end of this program, I'll be sharing with you different coaching sessions, the paid coaching sessions which I conduct for people so that they learn and they can actually become a abundant magnet which by which they can actually attract more and more abundance in their life. At the end of this program, workshop, I would be sharing some details with you all on that. If you all are interested in that, you can enroll for that too. And I will share the personal experience after that. So now I would like to share with you some of the gurus. These are my gurus and inspirations. And I pay my tribute. I give my blessings to each one of them for the changes which they have brought in my life. And I'm deeply honored. I'm obliged to each one of them for the experience, the knowledge, and all the details which they have shared with me. So this was about myself. And then, are you ready to achieve abundance in your life? Then let's start. So, two simple requests for those who are present here. First, please turn off your cell phones, your mobile phones, and avoid any distractions because I will be sharing with you all many important tips and tools which can be useful for you in applying your life, and you can take your life to the next level. And if at all at that particular moment you get distracted, you will not be able to make a note of that, and your life might remain the way you are right now. Second, I request you all not to do any recordings of these types of sessions. So I would like to go a bit in detail now. According to one of the studies, it has concluded that even the most successful people on this planet were able to use only 10% of the power which is given to each one of us. Let's say I have a mind power which sums up to 100, but still I was able to only use 5 to 10% of the power. Why is it that so? This was one of the studies which was done. Now, when Albert Einstein passed away, his brain and his mind was studied to the highest possible extent. And even that research had concluded that even Albert Einstein was only able to use 5% of the power. So why does that so? Why is it so? What happened at that point of time? That why are we unable to use the balance 90 to 95% of the power which is there in all of us? This is because of only ignorance of the mind. None of the college, none of the schools, none of the institutions on this planet have taught us how to use this mind and how to use its power. We are only aware of something called as conscious mind, which only has 5 to 10% of the power, whereas there is a balanced 90 to 95% power which is lying in our subconscious mind, which we are unable to use. Now, let's try to deep dive into the mind. Let's try and understand what this mind is. Now, let's talk about the brain. Now, there are two parts which we'll be concentrating on. One is brain and one is mind. Usually people mix up the two and they treat that both are the same thing. But my friends, there are two different things. Brain is actually like a hardware in a computer system. The hardware which is there, the hard drive, the hard disk, motherboard and everything, all the thing which is physically there present in the CPU of a computer or in a laptop, that's the hardware. It represents the brain. And on the other side, there is a software like the Zoom software, which we are using right now for communication, Microsoft Office softwares, each and every other software. That is the mind which is there, which is running our brain. Because without software, the hardware is useless. And without hardware, the software is also useless. But the point is that software decides how the hardware will function. Hardware doesn't decide how it wants to function. If we install a software of particular kind of, if we install a particular kind of software, the hardware will function in that way. If we install another particular type of software, the hardware will function in another way. That's the power. That's the way our mind is. It's like the software which operates the hardware which is there inside our body. Also, apart from acting like a software, mind actually also acts like an energy which is provided to the body to function, like the electric circuit board. We cannot see the electricity, but we know that there is something called as electricity, which helps to operate the tube lights, the fan, the air condition, the refrigerator, and everything. Similarly, there is an energy which is there inside our body, but we cannot see it with our physical eyes, and that is the mind. Now, let's talk about the mind. There are two parts of our mind. How many minds do we have? Please write in the comment box. There are two parts of our mind. First is the conscious mind, and the second is the subconscious mind. I will just have a water. Give me 2 minutes. Yeah. So the first is the conscious mind, and second is subconscious mind. Now let's try and understand a bit in detail what is the difference between these two minds. The first and the foremost difference is the power which is given by the universe or the way these two function. The conscious mind only have the 10% power of the total mind power which we have, whereas the subconscious mind has the remaining 90% of the power. And since we are not knowing how to tap the power of the subconscious mind, that's why we are only focusing on the conscious mind, and hence we are only able to use the 10% of the power which is given to all of us. Now, conscious mind acts like the boss of the organization. It gives instructions, it works, it decides, and it makes decisions what it wants. Whereas on the other side, the subconscious mind actually acts like the subordinate who blindly follow each and every instruction which is given by the boss, that is the subconscious mind. Now, how many of you all have heard about the story of Arabian Nights during my childhood? It was one of my favorite cartoon characters, Arabian Nights. I used to love those cartoon series where there was a genie flying here and there, there was Aladdin. How many of you all can recollect? Please write in the comment box. Those were the wonderful moments, right? Yes. So, the conscious mind is like the Aladdin of the cartoon character, and the subconscious mind is like the genie. Now, Aladdin had the lamp with him for this amount of time, but he was not aware that there was something called as genie, which was sitting right inside. It was sleeping, but Aladdin was not aware of that lamp. And one day, and his life was full of struggle. His life was he was running here and there. He was saving himself and his mother from the rulers, slaves, and everything. Right? We all know the series, right? He was entering to fight, and his life was full of struggle. Unless one day he found that there is a lamp and there was a genie inside lamp, and that too he didn't know that there was a genie inside lamp. It was just that he saw some dust which was there accumulated on the lamp. So he just decided to rub that dust and remove that from the lamp. And since he rubbed the lamp, the genie came out of the lamp, and what did the genie say? Genie said, Jo hukum mere aka, your wish is my command. That's where the words of genie, and that's the power of our subconscious mind. That's the way subconscious mind, which is the genie inside all of us, functions. He is just ready to take the commands which our conscious mind gives to the subconscious mind. Let me share with you an example. Let's say a small kid is consciously thinking that he is not feeling well. I am not feeling well. I am not feeling well. I am not feeling well. If he constantly says that, and if the genie which is inside that that particular kid grabs that order, then what happens? The genie will ensure that that kid will continue to remain ill for another 5 to 10 days. And in case that kid is not ill, the genie will ensure that that guy will fall ill in next 2 or 3 days. Now, who attracted illness in that kid's life? It's the kid himself, just because he started saying that I am falling ill, I am not feeling well, I am not feeling well. On the other side, had the kid, take an example that the same kid was ill since last 10-15 days, and today he started saying, even though he's feeling ill, but still he says that I am recovering, I am recovering, I am absolutely fine, I am absolutely fine, I am absolutely fine, I am absolutely fine. The genie will get the signal, the genie will get the instruction that this kid is absolutely fine. And he will start working on that, and he will ensure that that small kid will come out of the illness as soon as possible. That's the power of the genie which is inside all of us. Now let's take another example. Let's say a small lady, a young girl who was born somewhere in 1980s and 85s, and she was in her teenage in 1990s and 20s and 2000. That time there was a trend of Saas Bahu serials. And if that lady had seen those Saas Bahu serial, and she continuously grabs the thought that mother-in-laws are bad, mother-in-laws are bad, mother-in-laws are bad, she will actually in her adulthood attract that kind of partner in her life whose mother will be bad. Or in case she is not bad, still if she will do something good for her, the female will not see her mother-in-law as good, because her mind will not be able to accept the fact that mother-in-laws can be good. It's only because of her childhood programming, the serials which she has seen, the instances which she had seen in her childhood, that she will constantly feel that mother-in-laws are bad. Now let's take another example. Conscious mind is like the gardener of the plant of the land, who decides that what fruits he or she wants from the land, and depending on the decision which he have made, he will start working towards it. He will seed in the land. After making the hole, he will fill up the hole, he will start watering the land, and he will wait for the fruits to grow. On the other side, the subconscious mind is like the land. Our life is like that land. On the basis of the seeds, on the basis of the thoughts which we will seed inside our subconscious mind, inside in our life, it will give the fruits to us in our physical world. If we seed in positive thoughts, it will give us positive fruits in our life. If we seed in negative thoughts, it will give negative results in our life. Let's take an example. On a news channel, we see a news getting flashed that senior citizens got murdered. Whose attraction will go to that first? Obviously, the senior citizens. If the senior citizen just read the news or listens to the news and then leave it, it's absolutely fine. But in case they see it and they get engrossed in it, then they are actually seeding in their subconscious mind that they can also get some murderer in their life. And my friends, trust me, the subconscious mind is such a powerful tool that if the subconscious mind gets that seed in itself that murderer is required, it can ensure that to bring such murderers in their life. That's the fact, my friends. Trust me, it's very hard, very tough, but it's a fact. It's a very harsh fact, It's the fact of our life. Let me share with you another example. Let's say a boy who is constantly saying that maths is tough, maths is tough, maths paper is tough, maths subject is tough, then he's constantly seeding in his subconscious mind that the paper which will come in the examination will be tough. And subconscious mind will grasp that thought, it will start processing, it will start working on it, and it will ensure that the subconscious mind will go and inform the teacher to prepare a mathematic paper which will either be of two types. It can be tough, actually it can be tough, or she will put in those types of questions in the paper which the kid doesn't know. And then when the kid goes into the examination, he will either fail or he will get lower marks. And then when he'll come out, he will say, see, I told you na, math paper is always tough. Mathematics is always tough. And see, it is tough. That's how powerful the subconscious mind is. It can bring in whatever seed you seed in. Now, there's one more difference. Conscious mind is working only when you are awake. That's when you are awake, you are listening to other people, you are doing analysis, you are going somewhere. That's when your conscious mind is working. And the subconscious mind is working round the clock. So right now, which mind is working? Please write in the comment box. Conscious, subconscious, neither, both. Write in the comment box. Yes, it is both, because you are in the daytime. Subconscious mind works 24 hours, so it is working, and the conscious mind also works in the daytime when you are awake. So right, you're right, both are working. Subconscious mind acts in the goal setting. It will set the goal which you want in your life. It will decide that this is something where I want to go, whereas the subconscious mind works towards achieving the goal. Now, there's one issue with the subconscious mind, that the subconscious mind cannot think. Whatever instruction Aladdin, which is the conscious mind, gives to the genie, genie will say, your wish is my command. So even if the Aladdin says, even if the conscious mind thinks that I am feeling ill, the subconscious mind will not think. It will just blindly start working on it, and it will ensure that you will continue to feel ill. That's the biggest challenge of the subconscious mind, that it cannot think. Subconscious mind is the creative mind, like the creativity which we see in the paintings, creativity which we see in our songs, in lyrics of the song, or we can see in all those creativity which you see, it is coming directly from your subconscious mind. Whereas the conscious mind is a logical mind, which applies logic, which do analysis, it will do decision making, all those logical activities which is done, it is done by your conscious mind. Whereas all the creativity part, it was done by the subconscious mind. So now we have understood what's the difference between these two minds. Let's try and understand what are the powers of both the minds. First, let's concentrate on the powers of the conscious mind, the Aladdin. Conscious mind has the power to think. Now, how many types of thoughts which comes in our mind at any given point of time? There are only two kinds of thoughts which comes in our mind. Either it is a positive thought or a negative thought. And most of the time, which thought do we get? Positive or negative? Please write in the comment box. Most of the time, we'll get negative thoughts. Why is it so? It's not because of it's only because the way our society is working right now, the way our society is functioning. It's because of that we get negative thoughts most of the time. Now, this is one of the reasons why we get negative thoughts. This is a normal daily schedule of a person. Whenever, as soon as he gets up, he will get refreshed and he will start reading newspaper. And what do we see in the newspaper? Mostly negative points: rapes, murders, loot, earthquake, stock market crash. If the stock market is rising, we'll see it in small words, small font size. But if the stock market has crashed, Black Monday, Black Sunday, Black Friday, Red Friday, all those big fonts, right? That's how the newspapers, that's their job, by the way. So we can't blame them also. But the point is that when we see the newspaper, we'll see all these negative thoughts. And if a businessman opens the newspaper and he sees or he reads the newspaper that there is a recession coming in the market, he will start his day with a negative thought that, oh my God, there's a recession right now. What will happen to my business? Nobody will be willing to buy from me. How will I be able to make money? How will I be able to sustain? So all those negative thoughts start crippling, and he himself will attract failure in his or her life. Whereas on the other side, if there is a person who knows that there is a recession going on, but still he is committed that yes, even though there is a recession, there are people who will be ready to buy my product, and there are people who will be ready to pay for my product, then he unknowingly through his subconscious mind will attract those types of people who can who will buy his or her product. And the third thing which normally people do is they will connect with people who are of the same kind. We don't like people who says that I'm successful, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. If I'm suffering from failure, I would usually love to live with people who are also like me, who are suffering failure, where we will feel peace and calm that yes, it's not me who is only in the valley, there are people others who are also there in the valley. But my friends, this is a very negative state of negative way to see your life. In fact, we should actually get inspired, we should get in touch with more and more successful people so that we can learn from them. But normally we feel हाश मैं भी फेल हो रहा हूँ वो भी फेल हो रहा है कितनी अच्छी बात है मैं अकेला फेल नहीं हो रहा हूँ that's pretty bad way my friends, that's pretty bad way. And evening after the full day of tiring office, when a person comes back from office, what he will do, he will switch on the TV serial and he will watch TV. He will watch CID, Sunny, India Fight Back, Crime Patrol, Saas Bahu serial, and so on and so forth. All this drama and everything, right? So what will happen? He will constantly seed in negative thoughts in his mind. And if he constantly continue to seed in negative thoughts, he will continue to get negative results in his life. So that's the power of your conscious mind. The way the conscious mind is working, it will give the instructions to the subconscious mind, and subconscious mind will give those types of results in his life. Next, the power of conscious mind is to apply logic, do judgment, do analysis, and everything. You all must have done the analysis today. You all must have seen what I am doing. You must have seen what I'm talking, or you might have seen my Facebook ad, and that you might have thought, let's try and see what is there. How is the destiny related to our mind? You might have applied some logic. Even right now, in last how much time have we gone with? Yeah, it's almost 1 hour now. So you must have made some thought, or you must have decided, made some judgment about me that this is something what I'm talking. Whether it is right, it's wrong, that's all that what you are doing right now, it's done through your conscious mind. Third power of the conscious mind is to make decisions. Yes, no, whether you want to go into direction A, whether you want to go into direction B, all those decision making is done by your subconscious mind. And last power of the conscious mind is to take action. Like you all must have taken the action of coming to the Zoom and attending this session. And one more power of conscious mind is that it acts like a watchman or the gate for the thoughts which goes to the subconscious mind. Let's take an example that today you are watching a serial of CID. Then obviously the conscious mind knows that it is something which is a serial going on, and usually a person will not get engrossed in those CID serials. But on the other side, if a person if it is consciously resonating with the CID serial or those negative serials, and he will constantly say that yes, this is saying right, this is saying right. So whatever is going on in the serial, it will directly go into your subconscious mind. Like now, what I'm saying, if your conscious mind is resonating with the thought, whatever I'm saying will go directly in your subconscious mind. Whereas on the other side, if the conscious mind says that whatever I'm saying doesn't work, it is not working this way, my life doesn't go this way, then whatever I am saying, it will not go into your subconscious mind, it will get rejected from the conscious mind. So the conscious mind actually acts like a watchman who is making a decision what thoughts, what pictures, what images, what actions should go into your subconscious mind. That's the power of your conscious mind. Another power of your conscious mind is to identify and seize opportunities. Like today, you got this opportunity to attend this masterclass. You identify that yes, this is an opportunity which I should attend, and you seize those opportunities, and hence you are here. All those are done by your conscious mind. One more power of your conscious mind is the IQ, which is the intelligent quotient. Now, I know about what is going on in my market. I know what is going on in my area. I know what is going on upside in my neighborhood. I know what is going on in the person who is saying nice. I know everything about what is going on in my market, in and around my son. That is your intelligence quotient. What is going on around you? But this, my friend, you it is limited how much you can know about what is going on. If today you want to make any decision whether you want to venture into a particular business or no, you can do a lot of analysis, but the quantum of analysis which you actually have to do is very huge. You can never ever complete the total analysis which will be required to make the decision, because the जान के भी आप कितना जान लोगे, कुछ नहीं जान पाओगे आप. It's hardly 5% power which is there in your conscious mind. So if you use your IQ, you are making decision only based on the 5% to 10% of the knowledge which is there. The remaining knowledge, the remaining power is there in your subconscious mind. That's the genie which we'll be talking about now. So now let's talk about the power of the genie. Genie actually has the power to create, attract people, event, ideas, opportunities to fulfill the wishes or the seeds which you have seeded in your subconscious mind, which the conscious mind has seeded in your subconscious mind. So if today the conscious mind has seeded a thought that today will be a marvelous day, I will get more and more clients in my life, then the genie will attract those types of events, those types of people, those types of ideas, those types of opportunities in your life, which can actually give you more and more clients in your life. It has to actually the power to create the life that you want. But it depends on how the instructions that you give to your subconscious mind. Let's come to our next point. It is, how many of you all know about the intuition, the inner voice, the inner guidance system, the sixth sense? Our conscious mind interacts with the outer world basis the five senses: the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch, right? And the sixth sense is the inner sense, which is the power of your subconscious mind. It's now let's take an example of a highly successful businessman. Whenever any decision is to be made by that particular businessman, he will make that decision to up to 70% of his decision will be based on his intuition. It will be based on his inner guidance system, on his inner voice. He will do analysis. He will do some filtration. He will do some filtration on the options which he have to venture into a business. And then when he have a limited number of options to choose from, he will use his inner voice. He will use his sixth sense. And that's how he is very successful. Because by using this sixth sense, he is actually tapping into the 90% of the knowledge which a conscious mind cannot use in his life, which cannot tap. Now let's take another example. How many of you get some innovative and creative ideas, and where do you get those innovative and creative ideas? Think about it and write in the comment box. Most of the innovative and creative ideas usually come when we are in the bathroom, when we are having a shower, because normally at that point of time, our conscious mind is relaxed. It is totally at peace and calm. And when the conscious mind is at peace and calm, actually the watchman is at is sleeping. And when the watchman is sleeping, the genie will start giving you ideas and will start answering your questions which you ask. Let's say in the morning you are asked the question to your subconscious mind, how can I grow my business? and you just forgot about it. Then when you are having a bath in the bathroom, that time the subconscious mind will give you some pop-up that, oof, this is something that you can do to attract more clients, to grow your business. But normally when we are having a bath or when we are in the bathroom, we usually do not capture those ideas. We think, हाँ ठीक है आया देखेंगे. But my friends, that's the sixth sense which is telling you this is something you should go for. Then from today onwards, I would urge you to actually capture the ideas which comes in your mind. Ensure that you take a diary, a small book with you anywhere, wherever you go. And whenever that inner voice starts speaking to you, make a note of those ideas. Subconscious mind is a powerful mind. It's a creative mind which has the infinite intelligence. It's connected to the unlimited source of wisdom. It gives you creativity, it gives you innovation, and it gives you success in your life. Nobody else, not your conscious mind, has the power to give you success. There are some special powers which nowadays the people have forgotten about their subconscious mind, but this is something which has been demonstrated. How many of you all have experienced this thing, that sometime you think about a person and that person either calls you or he just comes walking in front of you? That's the telepathy. Our mind actually have a power to communicate with the other mind, and that person comes here because of that telepathy power. That's the power of your subconscious mind. Telekinesis, moving the objects without touching them. I'm not talking about the magic, the hard kasafai which normally people do in the circus or those. No, 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 no. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about telekinesis power which is there actually in our subconscious mind, but we don't know how to use it. Then there's one more, remote viewing, which was demonstrated by Sanjay in Mahabharata, where he was actually sitting in the palace. He was narrating what is going on in the battlefield of Kurukshetra by using the power of his third eye of remote viewing. These are also some special powers of mind, of subconscious mind. But my friends, I'm not saying that we should do these fancy things. The point which I want you all to understand is that if our subconscious mind is such a powerful tool, why can't we use it to a certain extent so that we can actually improve our life, so that we can actually bring some betterment in our life? Obviously we can do that. If we cannot use the balance full 90% of the power, why can't we just use 5 to 10% of the power of the subconscious mind? We can make miracles in our life. Another power of the subconscious mind is EQ. EQ is emotional quotient. How much emotionally aware, how much emotionally knowledgeable you are about your own emotions. So if you are aware of your emotions, if you know that I can become angry at very quickly, so if you know that this is your emotion, you can actually control your emotion, you can control the reaction, and you can respond to any situation in a positive way. IQ can help you only up to 20% of your life success. Remaining 80% of your life success comes from EQ. And another is your spiritual quotient. Here, I would like to give you an example of Prahlad. Actually, Prahlad Jani is a person in Gujarat. He is living without food and water since last 20, 30 years. He is actually using his power of the subconscious mind, and he is getting energy from the sun rays. That's the power, one of the power of subconscious mind. So I don't want you to do that, but I'm just saying that these are also one of the powers of your subconscious mind. Now, EQ, which we were talking about in the previous slide. EQ is the knowledge of your inside world, your emotions. If you are emotionally strong, it will help you to fight the problems which comes in your life from the outer world. And you will be able to understand the emotions of the other people, and you will be able to create a connect with more and more people since you are emotionally strong. Now let's talk about SQ. SQ is your spiritual quotient. And normally, when we talk about SQ, people will say, oh my God, spirituality? It's not required right now. I will look at it somewhere when I will turn 60, 70, whenever I will retire. My friends, spiritual question is not only about spiritual, it is something about spirituality. It is about knowledge of your own self and how it works. It is the knowledge of unlimited knowledge which is there inside all of us. You should become aware that something unlimited in nature, which has unlimited characteristics, is there within you. If you There is a power which is great, which is inside all of us, and if you can get the understanding of that, you can connect with the superpower and you can draw unlimited energy. So is it something which you should know at the age of 60s and 70s? No. The spiritual quotient is something which you should be knowing the day you were born or the day when your conscious mind became active. So don't delay. If even if you are at this age of time, don't think that you delayed getting this knowledge. It's totally fine. Start today. It's okay. But think about your future generation. They should get to know this knowledge as soon as they can. Now, another power of your subconscious mind is like it serves like the hard disk of the computer system, which has unlimited storage space. It stores all your past experience, all your belief systems, all the values that are stored here. And this values actually runs the way you are living right now. I'll share with you about a life journey of how our life actually grew and how we have reached to the stage where we are right now. Let's take an example of a child who is born. At that point of time, normally a child is not having anything called as conscious mind. Is is only having the powers of the subconscious mind. And during the initial couple of years, the child will only get love, love, love from his or her parents and the nearby relatives. But now think about it. Why is that particular infant so powerful in his life? We take an example that if the particular infant, 6 month old kid, starts crying, everybody from the flat, everybody from the family members will start running and they will come to the kid to understand why is he crying, why is the kid so powerful. Have any idea? Have you given any thought? Please write in the comment box. The kid is so powerful because he doesn't care what the other people will think. He will do whatever he or she wants to do. Now take another example. He totally loves himself. Have you ever thought about any kid who is saying that, oh my God, I am so fat. Oh my God, my thighs are so big. Oh my God, I'm so short. Oh my God, I'm so dark in color. Have you ever given a thought? Have you ever seen any kid saying these statements? No, right? The kid just loves him or herself unlimited, immensely. Doesn't matter how he or she is looking. And that's why he is so powerful. He loves himself and he doesn't care what the other person will think about him. When the person grows up today, have you ever said I love you to yourself? No, right? And today if I'll tell you to look into the mirror and say I love you to yourself, you will laugh at me that what is this exercise, right? I will make you do that in the workshop. But anyways, that's what I want you all to start from today. Start loving yourself unconditionally. Don't wait to celebrate don't wait for a celebration to come after achieving some milestone. Celebrate today. Why not? Celebrate each and every success, small or big. If you take your kid for a party, or if you take a kid for a round in the ground, go and celebrate. What's harming? What's harming that? Enjoy your life. But as we grew up, we have lost that thought of enjoyment. We have lost the thought that of not caring about what other person says. We start living in a smaller room. That, oh my God, what if I will do this and somebody will say something? What if I do this and somebody will say something? We start thinking about other people. That's what we should stop from today itself. Now let's take a journey further. As the person grew, as the infant grew, we reached the age of 3 and 4. He will start getting exposure to the outside world. He will start going to school. And when he goes to school and when he come back with his book, now there something something very interesting will happen. The mother of the kid sees that my kid is unable to write A, B, C, D properly, and the neighborhood's kid, the infant and the next door is writing ABCD very neatly. Oh my God, something is wrong with my child. Why is he not writing ABCD properly? And there the mother will say, why are you not writing ABCD properly? See the other person, see your child, see your classmate, see your friend. He's writing such well ABCD. That's where the comparison comes in the mind of the student. And then the self-esteem might fall. The more comparison a person sees in his life and sees that other people are better than him, his self-esteem will start deteriorating. Now, I'm not saying that the mother and father are doing it with a bad intention. Their intention is pretty well. They want their child to grow better and become better and better in academics, and that's why they are doing that. But unknowingly, they are they are seeding in something wrong, some wrong thoughts in the minds of the conscious of the kid. And then when a person grows up further, 4 to 8 years, he get further exposed to the external world, he learn more and more things. And let's take an example that he went into an examination and he went and answered wrong each and every question and he got zero in his mathematics. And the teacher at the time of exam results of the examination gives the paper to the kid and says, what have you done? You have scored zero. You have answered everything wrong. You are stupid. Now the kid heard the word stupid for the first time. उसको तो पता ही नहीं कि stupid का मतलब क्या होता है. He takes that answer sheet, he takes that result, mark sheet, and then goes home. There, the mother and father, they will see the mark sheet, and teacher and mother says, "Oh my God, you didn't know this? You didn't know answer to this question? These are so simple, my kid. How can you do such a stupid mistake? You are stupid." Again, the kid heard the word stupid. Now, the kid doesn't know the meaning of the word stupid at this stage, this point of time, but he thinks that my teacher called me stupid, my mom called me stupid, my dad also called me stupid. That means I am stupid. So, these types of learning is what a child grabs during his initial 0 to 8 years. And whatever the kid has grasped, that's what will rule the life of that kid. Now, let me share with you another example. Now, let me share with you. Similarly, on this basis of our learnings from the age of 0 to 8, we create our conditioning and something which is related to health, wealth, relationship, and self-esteem. Now, let's take an example of health. During the childhood, when a kid was going out to play in the rain, the mother says from back, no child, don't go in the rain, you will catch cold. Now the thought gets seeded in the subconscious mind, and next time, even after growing older in his adulthood or in his 30s, 40s, whenever that person will go in rain, it will catch cold because its subconscious mind got conditioned to attract cold as soon as he gets wet in the rain. If the person gets conditioned that if you eat ice cream, you will fall sick, it doesn't matter at what temperature, in what area he is, even if he is in desert, if he will eat ice cream, he will start falling ill. Similarly, if a person have caught a thought that diabetes and cancer cannot be cured, if, God forbidden, that kid in his adulthood or in his old age attracts diabetes or cancer, he will not be able to get that treated soon. He might be able to get treated, but it will take time. So these types of conditioning regarding health get accumulated, get conditioned in the mind. Similarly, relationship, mother-in-laws are bad, my mom doesn't love me, people doesn't love me. If a small kid have seen parents fighting and he catches the thought that I will not get married, marriages doesn't work, then when he grew up, either he will not get married, or even if he gets married, his marriages will not function in the way they were supposed to. If a person got conditioned that not to trust anybody, people are not trustworthy, they'll come and cheat you. So as he grew up, he will attract only those types of people who will cheat him in his life. Similarly, There are different conditionings related to money. Money is root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on tree. Rich people are bad. Rich people are greedy. Rich people are corrupt. Rich people take advantage of other people. Now let's take an example that a person during his childhood have heard so many things, so many negative thoughts about money and rich people. Now, as he grew up, he completed his SSC, he completed his HSC, he completed his graduation, and now he completed his post graduation. And now his conscious mind is all set to go out in the market, get a good job, and make more and more money. But in deep in his subconscious mind, the thought says that money is root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. I do not want to money. If that's something dilemma is there in his conscious and subconscious mind, then tell me in the comment box which mind is more powerful, subconscious mind or conscious mind. Subconscious mind is more powerful. What's the thought seeded in the subconscious mind? Money is bad. So in this scenario, even though conscious mind strives to make more and more money, even if the conscious mind is able to accumulate more and more wealth, the subconscious mind will start attracting those types of people who will take away his wealth. Something or the other problem will come in his life and he will not be able to accumulate money because his subconscious mind is saying money is bad. And last point is regarding self-image. If during the childhood too much comparison is done and the child gets seeded with the thought that I am not good, I am not capable, I am not lovable, I do not deserve good thing, even in his adulthood, he will not want good things in his life. He will not be able to attract good things in his life. Now, let's come to specifically to health. This is a study which was done by Louise Hay, one of my guru's guru, and she have done in-depth study and she have concluded that 80% and 75 to 80% of the illness which a person is facing in his or her life, it is related to some negative thought, negative emotion which is there in his subconscious mind. Let's take an example. Let's some of these examples. Diabetes. If a person is suffering from diabetes, then there is some issue in his mind, some deep sorrow, some in his life there is no sweetness. If a person is living such particular kind of life, no sweetness, constant stress, deep sorrow, he will attract diabetes in his life. In today's corporate world, we have seen people getting suffering from diabetes and blood pressures at the age of 20s, 30s, 40s. It's only because of the constant stress, deep sorrow, or no sweetness in their life. Now, in corporate job, people work for 12, 15 hours, and there is no sweetness at all in their life, no family relationship, no socialization, nothing, only job. And they continue to live in that deep sorrow and they attract the disease of diabetes. Let's take another example, blood pressure. If there is a long standing unsolved emotional problem which is there, maybe with parents, maybe with siblings, maybe with anybody in this world, if a person carries that emotional problem with him or her, he will attract blood pressure in his life. Now, knee problems. Knee problems are usually faced by people who are stubborn, who are egoistic, because they usually do not want to bend. They do not want to bend towards other people. And in today's era where there is a generation gap, the youngsters do not follow what the seniors say, what the elder people say, and the ego gets hurt. So these type of people who do not want to get banned and they see people not following them, they suffer from knee problem because this is the place where they usually bend. Similarly, people who are constantly having fear of money or lack of financial support, they will suffer the problem of lower back problem. Now, the good point is, let's come to this slide. This at the age of 0 to 2, our mind was totally blank like a fresh whiteboard. It got conditioned by something or the other, some instances of our life during the age of 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40. But the good news is, whatever conditioning was done, we can remove those conditions and we can install new supportive conditions. Because none of us was born with a particular type of conditioning. It was during our upbringing that led to this type of conditioning, and these conditioning actually rules our life. So if we can actually change the conditioning, if we can rewire our brain, we can actually attract more and more success in our life. And that's the good news which is there. So the point is that if you can tweak that mindset, if you can tweak that, if you can positively use the powers of your mind, you can achieve any goal of your life, you can solve any problems of your life, and you can actually live a happy and a successful life. But at the same time, there is an asterisk mark which condition apply says, which we normally see in any product, that you should have a burning desire to achieve something. If today I ask somebody, do you want to earn money? He will say, yeah, I want to earn money. Then he will not be able to earn money, my friends, because there is no burning desire in him. He should reply to me that, yes, I want to make money in my life. And if there is that burning desire in his life, then he will be able to achieve that goal of making money. And at the same time, he should have belief in himself that he is capable to achieve his goal, and he should be having a belief that the goal which he is setting in his life, it is achievable. If all these three are there in place, nothing can stop you to in achieving any goals of your life, in solving any problems of your life, and you can live a happy and a successful life. Now let's do some miracle examples. Let's wait for a couple of minutes, and let's come to the final point, final conclusion, which I want to share with you all, is that whatever we think, we become. Who said this? Buddha said this, that whatever you believe, it will become true in your life. अगर पहले ये स्लाइड दिखा दी होती तो इतना सब करना नहीं पड़ता ना अपने को. But the problem is our conscious mind is that unless and until it gets the factuality of our mind, it will not believe in it. So hence we had gone through this, and whatever we believe in, we become. So the good news is anybody can become successful and happy if they know the science of the mind and the science of becoming successful. Let me share with you an examples of these phenomenal celebrities. Shah Rukh Khan, no connection with any Bollywood actors in his childhood, but still he was committed to become a star of Bollywood, and today he is the Badshah of Bollywood. Sachin Tendulkar, never interested in cricket, he was interested in, I guess, hockey, but his cousin or his brother pushed him into cricket. His father supported him, and today, because of his commitment of and his dedication of waking up at 5 every morning and reaching the practice ground by 5:30, that made him successful. Donald Trump, his mindset is of billions of dollars of rupees. So even in his past, because of some business failure, he was into debt of billions of dollars of rupees. But he recovered and he regained his place back. He went, his life was here, went down, and again he came back. Same is the case with Amitabh Bachchan. His life was here, failures in his life, went down, again recovered. That's because their mindset is conditioned to reach that level, and since their mindset was conditioned to that level, their life will remain at that level. Even if they face failures in their life, they will come back. Failures, they will come back. Dhirubhai Mani had the mindset of running the biggest petrochemical industry when he was a attendant at the fuel station. But even while doing that job, in his mind, he was having a mindset that I will own the biggest petrochemical industry. And when he was in his 60s, he was the second richest person on this planet in India. Lakshmi Mittal, one more example. Bill Gates, college dropout, but today he's running a billion-dollar company, Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook at the age of 16, 17 in his hostel room. And today, at the age of 23, he's the richest one of the richest in America. R.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter series, she was writing Harry Potter. She was not having money to buy even the pages to write the script of Harry Potter. She was writing the script of Harry Potter on the bathroom toilet rolls, which she used to collect. And today, she is one of the top billionaires in the US. Oprah Winfrey, very poor background in childhood, but still they were able to achieve success. So the question is, the way to learn the science. How can I learn to become the science? Wait, just hold on.